Hello everyone. Hello PvP, my PvP Academia. Thank you for featuring this sweep. I'm going to go over how I thought of this team. So originally in practice, I liked Relicanth. Relicanth felt like something I was going to build eventually, and then I looked at this cup, I was like, wow, this has some nice spice. You know, I lose to the grasses, I may lose to some electrics, but I can, with energy, beat just about anything else. So I said, okay, let's build a team around this. Relicanth has some nice matchups, some nice niche matchups, which won't be shown in this just because they never got aligned. Relicanth, for example, can beat Ytxpikachu in the one shield. Pretty nice. There's a lot of things it can do, and once you boost, it's game over. I never got a boost because I'm unlucky. But, yeah. I mentioned this before, but I ran it with Emolga. Emolga feels like a nice other spice pick. I don't know if it'll be spice later on. It feels like something that is just a sleeper that some top players will be like, wow, this is good, I'll run it. So Emolga felt like a nice complement to Relicanth because, you know, it has play against the grasses, it has play against the fighters, and it destroys the other waters that Relicanth cannot take anything from. And then from there I said, okay, I have play against grass, but I need something that can shut it down. And that's where Toxicroak and Amok came in. Amok being the grass shutdowner that can also beat Hypno. Toxicroak being the one that can also beat things such as Lantern, opposing Alolan Muk, Toxicroak, etc. Things that Amok just can't handle. And Amok felt like a nice lead, something where you might get hard countered, but it can set up the safe swaps such as Emolga or Froslass. And that's where my commander came in. I don't believe that you have to start with the commander. I treat it like how you treat the other 5 Pokemon. You can, or prismatic. You don't need to start with blue, go to red, go to what the next colors, on and on. You can just say, I want to use these 2 Mon. Sure, there's slot 6 instead of slot 1. Then you can start adding them in any order until you find the team that you like. And that's what I did here. I tried it out with Ytxpikachu instead of Munchlax, and then a flex pick instead of Toxie. Nothing worked until I put in Toxie, and I said, alright, I'm going to use this. Now, this is the team I came up with. I'll say these battles are pretty good. I didn't make too many crazy plays, but I think I played good enough where these will be some entertaining battles. Now, back to you guys. I'm going to say some like, comment, subscribe stuff because this is not my channel. Alright. Peace out.
Thank you, HotPocket, for that nice little introduction. And I'm here with the maker of the tournament server that HotPocket performed in, Kevkillerke. Welcome back to the channel, Kev.
Hi all, thanks for having me again.
So what can you say about HotPocket's team? I'm sure you've seen a lot of tournaments going on so far.
Yeah, it's a bit different than the rest of the teams. I see a lot of Lantern teams, but Munchlax is a pretty popular commander. And I think Noctowl and Escavalier will rise as commanders as an answer to those.
Yeah, I mean, Noctowl just hard walls the Munchlax, and it's one of the few that does. So it's
yeah, especially. I see a little bit of weakness to electric with the Relicanth and Emolga, so he might have some troubles with Lantern. And I also noticed that he doesn't really have a counter for Charm. I think a Charmer in the 2 shields can beat all of his team again. But I think there are not so many Charmers in Commander, but there is of course the Alolan Ninetales.
Right.
But I think he's kind of lucky that Alolan Ninetales got Powder Snow now, so most people are running Powder Snow. But if there is a Charm Alolan Ninetales, I think there is no way to stop a 2 shields Alolan Ninetales safe swap.
Interesting. Now I'm thinking for my own team as well. I was like, nothing can stop a 2 shields.
In every cup that has a Charmer, you want to have something that beats it in the 2 shields.
That's true. Emperos in a 2 shield is also pretty, not unstoppable, but is a pretty nice safe switch option.
Yeah, and it can also punish with baits.
So HotPocket's first opponent is Miku291, who has Escavalier as their commander. But then most of the other picks seem, like you were saying, pretty standard. Also very good picks for this cup. I think everyone is expecting Hypno users, so there is an Alolan Muk on this team as well.
Yeah. And first round, he already has an opposing Lantern and a Ninetales. So I hope for Dave that it's a Powder Snow.
Yeah,
I suspect the Lantern is probably Spark by now.
Let's see how they decide to do this. Okay. Give an Emolga into an Escavalier. I'm not really familiar with this matchup, to be honest, because
Yeah, the Emolga is a bit. Yeah. Escavalier, I think, can win the one shield, but it depends on IVs. But Emolga definitely has 2 shields and 1 shield. So.
Yeah, Emolga's so squishy, but literally packing up. Whoa! Yeah, definitely packing a punch there.
It really nukes.
And comes in, and indeed, it is a Powder Snow.
We see a Powder Snow. So that's good for HotPocket, because his team is pretty okay against ice.
Yep. So it goes down, but yeah, Mithu definitely shielded that because they didn't want to get too much damage. 2 Pokemon down with still an Emolga with a decent amount of health. All right, so they switch into the Lantern. This is usually not actually the best swap, but since it's not a Water Gun Lantern, only really the Hydro Pump will hurt that much. They bait with the Thunderbolt. That still does hefty damage, I suppose.
Yeah, I think he wants to keep his Relicanth for the Ninetales. Because even though Ancient Power is a pretty weak move, it can still do really a ton of damage on an Ice type, of course.
And what if he gets the boost?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. This will definitely take out the Alolan Muk if he chooses not to shield.
Yeah.
But yeah, a full health Relicanth. Okay, they switch out right on the move, which is actually probably not that great for the Alolan Ninetales since his full, like you were saying, do some nice
Seems like
damage.
he wants to. He was undercharging, it seems, but I think he underestimated how few damage it would do.
Yeah, the Alolan Ninetales is a pretty bulky.
This is gonna. Yeah. Ooh.
Wow.
Let's hope it's a powder. Water ball. Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like he's definitely just gonna farm it down. So he has. Oh, unfortunately, he does have to shield this to survive. But I do think he'll have enough moves to take out this Lantern, which is not at a move yet. Although Spark is obviously going to do a lot of damage to the Relicanth.
I think the undercharge on the first Ancient Power was a bit too risky, especially since he had a shield left. But yeah, it seems like he's gonna manage.
HotPocket giving us the entertainment, making it a little bit closer than it had to be.
Yeah, as usual.
So what are your thoughts for round 2?
Yeah, I think the Escavalier, Lantern, and Ninetales was a good read for HotPocket's team because they are, I think, the most efficient. Maybe he's gonna consider his Cradily because Cradily takes out both Emolga and Relicanth. And it's not a bad pick overall because it has the Stone Edge and the Grass Knot.
Yeah, I mean, if it switches in before the Toxicroak too, it can at least get some good damage off because it will for sure get to a charge move. Ooh, okay, this is not the lead that HotPocket wants, so he dips out into Toxicroak, which seems to be usually a pretty good safe swap, but with the Hypno on the other team, he's really banking on the fact that the Mithu is not bringing it.
And the Toxicroak has a lot of pressure on Alolan Ninetales because the counters are neutral.
Indeed, and if he properly shielded up that Sludge Bomb, HotPocket here not even reaching the Sludge Bomb, just going for the Mud Bomb bait for some chip damage, I suppose. Ooh, it's still almost able to take it out.
At this point, it's so low that, he probably survives the Weather Ball. Ooh, that's a good shield.
Yeah, good. Okay, but now he's shieldless, but at least he's going to try to get this alignment right because he does not want that Lantern on the Relicanth.
And actually not on the Froslass either.
Yeah, that's...
So
his back line doesn't really do well. But to be fair, like Lantern doesn't do bad against Toxicroak either. It's a kind of a strong pick overall for the team comp. I can see why.
But there's of course the super effective Mud Bomb, which is which comes really fast.
That is true. But I suppose with no grass on a team, that the feels his Lantern is fairly safe bet to come out to play.
If I would be me too, I would play Lantern every game as well.
So.
Ooh, taking it to the limits. I like that.
Proper counting here, getting this even undercharging the Avalanche, but still definitely enough to take it out. And then,
oof.
Wow.
That's rough.
That is rough indeed.
And now he just has to race to the Aqua Tail. He's really.
Oh wow!
Oh my god, that's nice.
I was even thinking that it's okay if it takes out the Relicanth because he'll definitely be able to punch it down, but he wants to get fancy, catch the charge move, and take it down with the Relicanth. So well played by HotPoket in round number 1 of this little practice tournament. The second opponent now, Spicy Gecko.
Ooh,
and Spice indeed.
Man, this team has 2 Cradleys.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Big brother, little brother. And
there
also,
was, I think,
a Manectric, which I always want to make work, but it never works for me.
Yeah, even though HotPocket's team is weak to Electric, I don't think it's weak to Manectric because it lacks the Electric fast move. Because Manectric runs Snarl usually, so it's kind of weak, but also not really weak to Manectric. So I think that's more manageable.
And
the Lileep is really funny.
Yeah, I have no idea what the moveset on a Lileep is.
There was a 2-hour window, or Cradley had a move update, and they accidentally turned it on for Lileep instead of Cradley.
Oh,
so if you were
so
online at that moment, you could TM your Lileep to Ballot Seed as well. So he probably has a legacy Lileep, and now you cannot get that move anymore, even with a lead TM, because there was a bug.
Interesting. Okay, but they're not taking it away from the people who already benefited from it.
Yeah, no, they could keep it indeed. Yeah.
And are you one of the few that has benefited from it as well?
I don't have one myself, but to Tactical said I could trade him one for, I think it was a Wing Attack Charizard.
Ooh, fair. That's
so
a
if
good
I
trade.
see him ever again, I'm gonna claim my Cradley.
When we cross the borders, all right. So round 1, we have an Emolga into Kevkillerke, so it's definitely switching out to that safe swap. Toxicroak is definitely a safe swap in this scenario. There's no psychic user, and they switched in a Skuntank, and that is not a
awesome.
Yeah.
No, but to be fair, like Toxicroak sweeps the whole team.
There
is no Toxicroak counter.
I'm sure Spicy Gecko at this point has realized that maybe this is not the team that he will run in an actual tournament with all the Toxicroaks that I'm sure will be punching their way around.
Yeah. I think HotPoket can just save swap Toxicroak every game and seal the deal.
So yeah, he's blocking up these moves that are not effective, but he wants to conserve the health on this Toxicroak because he knows that it will do well against the entire team.
And also Muk, Alolan Muk is really good against the team.
Yeah, I think Alolan Muk is a really good safe swap in general in a lot of tournaments I've noticed.
Yeah.
It's 2 Mud Bombs almost took that completely out. Even if this is a Hydro Pump, it's not going to take out the little Munch Boy.
I don't really see why HotPoket ran Emolga though. Like, there's Manectric, there's Lantern, there's Cradley, there's Lileep. Skuntank also beats Emolga, so I think he was so sure that Toxicroak could sweep that he could run his Emolga to counter the Escavalier.
I think you might be right. It's just a flexing that he has one built and ready for the cup.
Yeah.
Although this could potentially be a problem. Cadilli has a lot of energy. It's definitely going to take out the Toxicroak, and actually Emolga has no play really here. Nope. And with getting to these moves so quickly,
it can do a neutral movement.
I think it's about to take a Stone Edge. Yep, to the face.
Oh man.
So
such a huge advantage for HotPoket.
Yeah, kind of squandered there. I doubt we'll see the Emolga this round, seeing how easily it can be taken out by most of this team. Frail as it is, definitely does not want to take a super effective move.
He just has to play like Alolan Muk and Toxicroak together, and then maybe Froslass to seal the deal.
Let's see how he readjusts his team. I assume that, yep, he's going to lead this Toxicroak because he's knowing that a 2-shielded Toxicroak, like you said, can tear through the entire team. Now it is Spicy Gecko's turn to safe swap. Look how fast Manalec.
This is this Mud Bomb, because Manatrik doesn't have that much bulk.
Yeah, I mean, look how much damage his counters are doing just to it alone. So now these two are just snarling each other.
It does carry Wild Charge though, so.
Flame Burst. Okay, that does about 50%. That's another Flame Burst here will definitely take it out.
Yeah. Though at this point, a Wild Charge is more energy efficient, I think, but I'm not sure. I don't know Flame Burst that well.
Yeah, unfortunately, after Gecko, that took it out. This is not looking so in his favor. Sludge Wave.
Even going for the big move. Yeah.
Let's see if Spicy Gecko, he does shield it up, and now I assume he'll farm a little bit of energy, but you can't give too much of an energy advantage to an Alolan Muk, because as you can see, they get to its moves quite quickly, and it's going to definitely bring this Lantern far down.
I think HotPoket also has to save its shield for the Froslass. I was going to say if it comes out against the Credly, but it's the Toxicroak again.
The Toxie's going for big moves as well.
Yeah. Resisting both Stone Edge and Grass Knot is really powerful.
Oh wow, he doesn't even want to show the Froslass, so he's going to go ahead and take out, which is a smart move. You don't want to give away too much information, and all the information that you can hide from your opponent, the better it is for your team composition. So yeah, if you're Spicy Gecko, how are you thinking you will come back knowing how difficult this Toxicroak Alolan Muk combination is?
Yeah, I think he has to play his Escavalier. But the issue is that he will never be able to line them up, because HotPoket can just swap to Toxicroak at any point in the game and line up his team. So I would play the Lantern as well, knowing that it will be beaten by Toxicroak. Maybe let the Lantern die to the Toxicroak and then hope that Credly can clean after him. I don't know. It's a really rough lineup for Spicy Gecko.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't build a team
this is
weak to Toxicroak in the first place.
So unfortunately, this is exactly where we don't want to be, but at least it causes HotPoket to have to shield because the drill runs. Oh, and it's an aerial ace. What a trick. Trickster.
Yeah, but as soon as you shield once, the Toxicroak beats it.
Even undercharging him.
Yeah.
Yep, and able to safely reach the second Mud Bomb, making Spicy Gecko choose if they're going to double shield or let it go down. They double shield. Oh, and good switch on the charge.
I think they want
the Froslass.
Yeah, I think he wants to sack his Froslass because it's not very useful.
Yeah. Yep. So in comes
now it has an energy advantage to actually throw. That's a miscount, I think.
That's what you get for getting greedy.
Yep.
But now it allows him to farm up even more energy. Throw in now the Avalanche, and now he has still another Avalanche to throw at whatever comes in. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Avalanche KOs. Yeah, he does comfortably.
And so I think he'll probably even be able to reach 2 Shadow Balls if he really tries to.
Yeah, Spark is pretty decent.
Man, HotPoket with these swaps. Masterclass.
He's probably just practicing at this point.
Yeah. Oh, that was a bummer. Trying to switch in to do a bit of counter damage to the Alolan Muk, but unfortunately all it did was give it a little more farm to be able to Sludge Wave this Lantern into oblivion.
Yeah. There was not a lot Spicy could do.
Yeah.
Though he won the first
yes, that was impressive.
First game, so that was nice. He did.
So this is the final round of this Commander Cup, and it looks like they have this
Nice.
same commander now, and we have a Lapras and a Roserade, which also we haven't seen yet this cup. What is your thoughts on Lapras? People have been talking about it, but there's potential that it just gets outplayed by other.
To be honest, Lapras is pretty good against HotPocket's team. I haven't really looked at Lapras overall, but I think the bulk of Lapras is what it distantiates itself from Froslass, for example.
And also Ninetales, like it definitely Lapras can beat the other Ices, but it doesn't maybe fare as well against, like, say, the counter users, which, you know, Froslass and Ninetales are a pretty decent wall to it.
Yep. The thing I like about Lapras is if you are in a favorable matchup, for example, you can do a Skull Bash, and then whatever comes in to farm you down will have now an opposing boosted Lapras. So you're likely throwing another Surf at it.
Yeah, every time you talk about Skull Bashing on a Lapras, I have a little post-traumatic stress from when we played in a tournament.
Yeah.
So let's see if this is really also going to give me a flashback during the actual game here. We have a Toxicroak mirror. Oh, I hate the Toxicroak mirror. How do you like to play your mirrors out?
Well, if fast moves are working properly, I like to wait until the opponent throws his Mud Bomb, and then I know that I'm ahead in energy, and I can throw my 2 Mud Bombs back to back, bringing him to the choice of double shielding or losing switch. And then it depends on what I have in the back, if I double shields or if I take my shield with me.
Yeah, I know from like some Ultra League stuff that my Toxicroak used to be high ranked, but until the level 50s came up, but now it definitely has a higher attack than a lot of them. So I almost do the double, and also knowing that I will always get well, not always, but I should usually get the charge move priority.
Yeah, HotPocket was 1 counter ahead compared to Anthony, so this wasn't a CMP tie.
That's good counting, so at least he gets to line it up, goes immediately smack down.
Now he can just... Ooh, that's actually not a bad spot for Anthony.
Yeah, so yeah, Anthony got in that one move with the Hypno, then immediately switched out to the Munchlax when he saw the Alolan Muk, getting a lot of damage. But like we talked about before, Emolga is quite frail, and Munchlax has now been able to build up a little bit of energy. Oof. 1 body slam does half health on an Emolga. Jeez. But unfortunately, I think for Anthony, even like, he's definitely just charging up a little bit extra here because he knows that the Alolan Muk has such a positive matchup against the Hypno in the back. Unless for some reason Anthony's gone super spicy and running Focus Blast on his Hypno, there's really not much that he can do, even with a full health Hypno against this.
Yeah.
So charging up to 2 Dark Pulses. He's gonna throw. We're gonna see at least one of the moves. Fire Punch. Okay, that's good information for HotPocket to take in for his Froslass. Nice. And also, to be fair, to his Relicanth, depending what the other move is, assuming it would be Shadow Ball. So, to the Relicanth.
I think the recommended moveset is Shadow Ball, Fire Punch.
For this cup. Okay.
But people just run whatever on their Hypnos.
Yeah,
this is my Great League Hypno.
Yeah. He's such a little Swiss Army knife, but the minute that the moves are revealed, obviously, you can develop your team composition to play around it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So for the second game, hard read by Anthony here. Just very lucky. I don't think Froslass was even in there.
Yeah, and even though Relicanth beats Lapras, it loses the 2 shields, depending on IVs. So it was a really good lead from Anthony here.
So Anthony charging up to 2 Surfs, I imagine, throwing the first one here, and then throwing the second before HotPocket's able to get off another move. And HotPocket, it looks like he's going to let the Froslass go.
Yeah, I assume he wants energy on the Toxicroak. Yep.
Look at this little blind fish.
I have one myself as well.
I have one as well, but I haven't built it up yet. So I'm kind of using this as a case study for myself to see how well Relicanth does. And
I built mine after the World Champion, the European Championships, the very first ones, where the there was this guy with his Relicanth, and all the audience was like, boost, boost, boost. Every time there was a charge move. And then the host was like, okay, guys, please don't reveal the charge move that he's gonna throw. Well, it was pretty funny.
That is kind of, yeah. So let's see here. I was gonna say that was really risky, even if you
That's unfortunate. He should have stayed in, I think, because now the Toxicroak has his Mud Bomb.
This is oof. So definitely chunking away.
I think it's
Toxicroak is able to take that out, and we have a Alolan Muk in the back. Okay,
that's good for the Toxicroak.
Yeah. So yeah, this Mud Bomb is going to do hefty damage. Obviously, those counters also going to do hefty damage.
Yeah.
And nothing that the Alolan Muk can throw is going to be that effective. However, at this range, it might still take out the Toxicroak.
One counter.
Relicanth into Water Gun down.
This was really close.
And that was well played by both teams. Good reads. I think like what you were saying, Anthony, he swapped out and allowed the Toxicroak to get a ton of energy to be able to take out that hit.
I think if you don't see the Toxicroak from Hot Pocket side, you can assume it's in the back.
Yep.
And if your own is in the back, I think your main priority should be just win switch. Don't try to do fancy tricks, just win switch.
And that's actually a really good tip for this tournament in general, because there will be a ton of Toxicroaks and there will be a ton of Hypnos as responses. And in return, I assume we'll see a lot of Alolan Muks. So in that case, what we saw in this actual practice tournament, I think is fairly similar to a lot of teams that will be built for the actual Commander Cup.
Yeah, and we saw some variety as well. I think we saw 3 different commanders.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wanted to run Steelix to pay a tribute to its season 1.
Yes, how hard it was.
Yeah, nowadays nobody runs Steelix anymore, but he used to be really good.
It's true. He did used to be really good, but unfortunately now there's less play from him. However, this could be a cup to make him shine.
Yep, yeah, Silph is always nice to bring old good Pokemon back.
Thanks again, Kevin, for coming onto the channel and giving us these tournaments that we can watch and kind of glean some information about before the months actually start. Have you noticed any usage? I know that the Ytxpikachu helps you a lot with the stuff.
Yeah, overall, the most used commander is Munchlax, followed by Jellicent and Escavalier.
Okay, interesting.
And Shiftry and Empoleon actually have the highest preference. So if someone uses Shiftry or Empoleon, they do more wins. So like
that's a fun piece of information, because tomorrow we're going to be on PvP Steve's channel talking about the different commanders, and I am going to be rallying for Shiftry, and Spleen is going to be rallying for Empoleon. So we have some good information in our back pocket that we had good picks.
Yeah. And for the rest of the picks, Hypno, Muk, and Toxicroak are all above 50% usage. So more than 1 in 2 teams are using those 3, or one of those 3. And they also have a high gold usage. So they are good picks, and they are common picks. What stands out is Skuntank. It's also really good.
Yeah, okay. This is
it's a good safe swap, just as Alolan Muk. Hot Pockets, in the practice tournaments, he usually runs like 1 spicy thing, because YTX data comes from our server mostly. Like, we do a lot of tournaments. There is always that one Pokemon that has like super low overall usage, but it has so much gold usage that its preference is so high, and it's like, why is this Pokemon so good? And then it's on Hot Pocket's team.
Hot Pocket is just skewing the data for his own personal pleasure.
Yeah, this month it's with Relicanth. So the gold usage is 470% higher than the overall usage. So he's the only one using it, probably.
That is really funny. So why don't you take this moment to tell us a little bit about the Flash tournament? I mean, for those who have been watching the videos for a while, they already kind of know, but it's good for the new people to get connected with a good server for tournaments.
The Flash tournaments for everyone server is focused on small tournaments that are hosted regularly throughout the day, where users themselves can propose a tournament, and then if there's enough people interested, usually we say 8 at least. There's a tournament organizer that will host your tournament. I think it's the best server to have a lot of practice tournaments in. We also do ranked tournaments. We are doing our 24th tournament at the moment.
Dang.
And we also have early bird tournaments. So the first day of the month, we host a tournament exactly when the meta goes live, which is at midnight UTC. And this month we will also do a European friendly version.
Very cool. Okay, yeah. So I'll put the link in the description below for the Flash Tournaments for Everyone Discord server. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks again, Kev, for coming on the channel. It's always a pleasure. And if you guys like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe because we will definitely be having more throughout the month. And also, yeah, Kev is a recent contributor to the channel and will be also featuring some battles from the Flash Tournament for Everyone Clash of the Typings tournament as well.
Yep.
So hit that notification bell
Hype.
and come on back. See you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.